You know, there's some positive in reading books and stuff like that. And I remember that I told you guys I was going to start providing you links to books for like stuff that I was getting in Full Sail University. Well, here's one book that will actually help. And the reason why this book is good is because it lays out everything that a designer would need. Now, we're all artists in some type of way, all right? Like if you're doing typographic art or if you're doing like sketching and stuff like that, you know, you want to deviate from that and get more into like the business perspective mind and stuff like that. So this book right here actually shows you that. That book actually shows you exactly what you need to do to get to where you need to be. When I was in my defining clients needs class or whatnot, this was the book that actually helped me get through that because it showed me how to research. It showed me how to, you know, advertise. It even shows you a whole lot of different stuff, okay? I bet you guys only thought that Facebook was the only way to advertise. I bet you guys thought that Facebook and flyers was the only way to advertise. And it sure ain't, you know. So you want to pick up this book. I'll leave the link in the description box below. But let's go ahead and get to this video. So today I want to talk to you guys about something that's really good to me, which I think that a lot of people should get into and probably shouldn't be worried about sketching or anything like that. Well, sketch a little bit if you guys can sketch it. But typography, typographic t-shirts, typographic design in its own is just the best thing in the world. It's pie in the sky. It's what you need to go from this to this. And the only reason why is because it's messages, just funny messages, relatable messages, anything that you need to just get out there to the world that says it's you. You can do it in typographic styles, which means that you have to get fonts, which means that you have to know what fonts work. Okay, so like you need to know the difference between what a sans serif does and a serif does. You need to know the difference between block type and decorative font. And the reason why you should is because these things have different characteristics to go along with it. I like to get my stuff from defont.com. I'm just gonna keep it real. You don't really need all these different fonts and stuff like that, but really just look for the commercially used ones, the ones that they let you use 100%. You can use it for like personal use. You can use it to sell stuff for. It's kind of really simple to do. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do this real quick. Okay, so here we are at defont.com, and defont.com is where I pretty much get all of my stuff. All right, so if we're doing something for a t-shirt design, we want to pretty much find something that actually fits that narrative. So now this stuff has to be motivated, and with that motivation, you guys should know exactly what you're going after. So it has to be a nice target audience. It has to be something that you know pretty much the psychology of. I told you guys this in the video before, like know the psychology of the person that you're designing for, and that would be a little bit more successful for you. All right, so I already know the psychology. We're looking for something that's gonna pretty much engage a 16-year-old girl. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at a sans serif. Now if you go to here where it says basic, this is sans serif, serif, fixed width, and varies. All right, really sans serif and serif is all you need. Sans serif is the ones without the little feet, and then serif is the ones with the feet. Okay, you have decorative fonts, which is pretty much everything here, you know. But you have decorative fonts right here, typewriter fonts, which is serifs, and then stencils. All right, these are the fonts that you guys want to look at if you want basic typography. Okay, so sans serif, serif, decorative font, typewriter font, stencils, and you can go from there. Now I'm gonna look at sans serifs, and if you scroll down just a little bit, you get where it says preview fonts and all that stuff. What you want to do is hit more options. All right, now click the 100% free. All right, that means you can use it for anything. You can use it for personal use. You can use it for, you know, shirts and stuff like that. You can use it on your own projects. Just click that and then type in a message. Now I'm gonna type in IDK, and you can scroll through and find exactly what you need to engage your audience. So I'm gonna look around, and I think that there's some things that I like. Now this is a mixture of serif and sans serif, which I don't like. I'm gonna keep moving around, and I'm gonna find something that I like, and then when I find it, I'm gonna bring that into Photoshop or Illustrator and just kind of make a design out of it. One thing I want to mention before I leave here though is that if you notice that like there's different ways to make the sans serif font. As you can see, like you have this really skinny one or whatnot, you have this one little stressed one that's kind of bold, you have this one right here that's like missing parts to it. They have different kind of like feelings to it, you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. So when you're looking for fonts, know exactly what you're trying to engage, know exactly who you're trying to engage, because different fonts have different meanings. Okay, so now that we got the font, all we gotta do is just open up the folder. What I like to do is I just click on the TIFF and just install the font. So you guys, once you pick your font, what you want to do is you want to take this into Photoshop and just pretty much put it in there. Now, you don't have to use Photoshop. I use Illustrator a lot, okay? But you can use Photoshop for this one if you guys want to. This is just up to you guys, okay? We bring it to Illustrator, you go into Photoshop, and then you come up with your message. So I'm going to show you guys something that I like to do when it comes down to this type of stuff. Okay, so I'm already in Illustrator and I kind of already found the font that I'm looking for, so I'm just gonna go ahead and type it out, which is IDK. Of course, I want to go ahead and increase the size of this, so just go ahead and kind of scale this up like this, and we can look at it. Now, we need to make sure that this has correct spacing, so I'm just gonna go ahead and click in and just kind of space it out some. I think that looks pretty good right there. So we scale backwards. That looks pretty good. Now what I want to do is just go ahead and right click or hold down Control and click on this to turn this into an outline. We can do that real quick, and that just made it into a shape. So what I'm gonna do is just move over some and just kind of make a duplicate of it like this. Then I want to take both of these and just do it one more time. Now I'm gonna take all of these and just move one up under it, and then take these again and just do it again. And that looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock down this layer. I'm gonna go ahead and open up another one and just kind of put in something different. So I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna use a different font. Now, from what I understand, sans serif and brush fonts look pretty good together. So I'm just gonna go ahead and find a nice brush, which I think would be another one that I downloaded off of thefont.com. I'm just gonna go ahead and scale this one up to like 72. Let's actually make this one kind of that reddish color, and we'll just type this one out to say, you know, STFU, and that looks pretty good there. We can also manipulate this, so let's just say, you know, we don't want it to just be a font like this. Let's just say we don't want it in order. We can just go ahead and turn it into an outline and then ungroup it, right? And then we could just kind of, you know, manipulate this into something like, you know, this, or move it around to where it looks kind of cool. You know, just give it some type of variation. I actually like it the way it was, you know, and we can just kind of scale it off like this. It's really what you guys want to do at this point in time. It's really what your design is calling for. So before I go into Photoshop and I drop these into my mockups, which you guys can download these mockups or whatnot on my Patreon, this would be pretty good for you guys, but you can also make a variation, which is one like this, which is a whole bunch of more of these, just a little bit smaller. And the way that you would do that is you just copy it and you just condense them down, and then you just kind of move them into place, kind of like we just did. So I'm gonna copy all of these and put them onto a mockup. And remember, you guys, you can pick up this mockup or this mockup from my Patreon account if you guys are a Patreon user. Now, I've changed the ACA community to the loyalty community, so if you guys are loyalty, go ahead and hashtag loyalty me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post both of these on my Instagram account, okay? And the first 10 people to like and say loyalty will get a free download. So I'm going to give you guys a download link to just get that, all right? So it's up to you if you guys want that. Now, like I said, typographic messages are something that puts out a nice clear message for everybody to get into. You can plug that into anywhere and people be like, well, yeah, I like this. I agree with this. This is something that says me, you know, and they're going to like that and they're going to appreciate it. And if the coins are right, if the $ is right, then they're going to give you coins, okay? And that's just what it is. So if you guys like this one, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, then go ahead and subscribe. I do this all the time. As a matter of fact, bail me so I know it's real. Once I know I got a bunch of bails, we're going to start doing this stuff live. Like, I want to do this stuff live. But with that being said, you guys, I have to get up out of here. So stay amazing, stay creative, above all else, stay awesome.